Welcome back. So many of us have found ourselves carving out a home office space in a bedroom, pantry, or in my case, basement. Oftentimes, the excess clutter all around can play havoc with our productivity. Organizing expert Jane Stoller, author of Decluttering for Dummies, gave me a few tips, including a cool time cube to help keep me focused. I have to tell you, when I look down at my desk, I don't know what all of this is. This is essentially clutter. Maybe you can see behind me here in my office.
Yeah.
At the floor level, there's boxes of things that I'm not even sure what's in those boxes at this point. There has to be a better way, and you have the better way, right?
There's certainly a better way. Certainly a better way.
What would I do? Okay, if I'm going to tackle this problem head on, what are the steps?
Now more than ever, we really need to be cognizant because we're working from home, plus we're also living in it. So we really need to make sure that every day we are surrounded by things that we're actually using. Now, if I asked you, Jim, what do you use every single day? You'd probably name 5 things. You know what's in those boxes below. So I challenge everybody watching to make a list of what they use every single day. That should be what's around you in your office space. Everything else needs to be evaluated and likely gone.
Okay, but I can't throw it out because I might use this thing someday. I think it's a tripod. I'm not sure, but it was given to me by people at work, and I know you're Canadian, so you'll appreciate this. I have some Canadian slippers.
Can't get rid of that.
Some Canadian slippers in the box behind me, and this is an inside joke that my brother-in-law and I have had for 30 years, sending us back and forth to each other. So that's there too. But I'm not going to throw these things away, but I do need to get them away, right?
Yes. In my book, Decluttering for Dummies, I talk a lot about those things you have are sentimental items. You might never use them, but they bring you joy. You know that phenomenon last year about sparking joy. If you really want to look at that can every day, put it on your desk and it'll bring you joy. But if not, you probably should have a box that is labeled sentimental, and maybe it's not even in your office space, but depending on where it is, because your office, you really want to be mentally decluttered. So take that sentimental items, the Canada hat, put it in a box and label it sentimental.
Okay, and you've suggested, I know, stuff like this, papers and letters that I might get to and things. That has to go too, right?
It has to go, and you do have to keep important things. So I'm not get rid of everything. I say have a filing system, and I've shown one that is just like a filing folder you can keep on your desk because not a lot of us even have all the stuff for offices, right? So get a simple paper filing folder, label it with the important things. Everything else should go, but if you want to keep it, have it in your desk filing system. Today, more than ever, we are just bombarded with stuff, with digital clutter, social media clutter, and it's really, and our brains cannot handle it all. So now more than ever, we need to get our space first organized so that we can really start that mental decluttering process.
Okay, so back to the tips. Step 1, keep a minimalist setup.
Only what you use every day.
The things you need. Step 2, get rid of the clutter, especially paper. You want to digitize that stuff, right? Step 3 would be time management then, right?
Now you have your space a bit decluttered. I always say you need to stay focused, and we have a really hard time because we're so cluttered. I use a time cube to stay on track. So I set it. Let's say I'm doing my emails for 30 minutes. I don't do my emails all day. I do them for twice a day for 30 minutes. I put this in front of me. It's blinking. I don't know if you can see the blinking on it. And it's also counting down. But for some reason, when I have this in front of me, I stay focused at the task at hand. I don't get up. I don't check Facebook. I don't do anything else but what I'm focused on. And this has changed my life, and all my clients use these now. They're phenomenal.
That's such a great idea to allocate time. And with that cube, it makes it really easy.
Yeah, it's fun too, and it's easy. And give yourself shorter time than you think because you'll actually just get it done. People are always blocking hour meetings. And I'm like, no, I'm not coming to an hour meeting. I can do this in 30 minutes, and I just don't give my time anymore. So be really ruthless with that and say, you know what, I'm going to only give myself 15 minutes, put the time cube on, and you'll be surprised that you actually get it done.
Okay, so the time cube, the time management, that's step number 3. And step 4 is what you do at the end of the day.
Yes, so step 4 is the most important, I think, for maintaining. So clutter builds up every day, and it will continue for the rest of our lives. So we need to, at the end of every day, just sit down, look at our surroundings, spend at least 5 or 10 minutes, filing, getting rid of things on our desktops, making sure we put stuff in the trash, and in our inboxes. Everything we need to make sure we spend a 10-minute declutter every day.
So do you recommend decluttering daily?
I recommend decluttering daily in all aspects of your life. And I have a donate box that I keep in my home, for the whole family. If you see that box, you're like, well, you know what? Somebody else can use it. So every day, if you're in the kitchen, are you not using that gadget? Can someone else use it? The closet, that's where I keep my box. In your office. So you should be decluttering every day so it becomes a habit. You don't even think about it anymore.
And what does that do for us in terms of our mental health?
Like I mentioned, mental health and mental clutter is kind of the number one reason why we can't stay focused. We're overwhelmed to start tasks. We don't even know where to start sometimes. So really just that simple decluttering a few minutes a day will really help that mental clarity and help that focus.
And that's what I need, mental clarity.